I guess considering Halloween is coming up, it's about time I at least wore something orange. So, well, actually, the Bears jersey I have is some orange in it, so that works, I guess. So, let's get to my low, my high, my act of kindness. My low is it got very cold out last night, and plus I was just trying to hide. Sorry, I was trying to hold back a yawn. I'm sorry, a little tired. Had a bit of a late night last night. Couldn't quite get some sleep. Well, I got some sleep, but just not enough, I guess. Okay though. But my high is, I got to spend the evening with my mom and dad. We had pot roast for dinner. It was awesome. So it was, really great. It was a great meal overall, and with some pot roast with some nice beef, carrots and onions and mashed potatoes and garlic. That's good with hot gravy. So yeah, it was good. Because we needed it. Because like last night it got below 40 degrees, which I'm like, it was like 70 earlier that day. What the heck? Oh well, maybe I'm overthinking this a bit too much. So that was good. My act of kindness was I helped set up the table for dinner and helped put the dishes away and everything. Cleaned up the kitchen. And I actually was the one who made the gravy. Yeah, if you look at my social media, I took a photo of the gravy. I made the gravy. Yeah. For those of you who are actually curious what I do, I'm a cornstarch slurry guy when it comes to making gravy. And that's what I grew up with. Although I will admit, it took a lot of practice to get it right. For sure. In fact, there was a couple times where I would see and wait, what happened again? So it took some time, but I think I got it. So happy Friday, everyone. Big night tonight. Horseheads is playing Elmira in Elmira, which, for the record, is literally just down the street from where I live. Seriously, from where I live, from right here, I could walk over to the stadium where tonight's game is going to be held. I mean, I'm not going to, because if last night was any indication, tonight is going to be very cold, so I'm not looking forward to that. So after I get all squared away, I'll get my stuff ready for this evening. It's going to be awesome. My folks are going to be coming to the game too, because, come on, it's Horseheads at Elmira, at Elmira's new field. I've driven by Elmira's new field, but I personally have never actually, been inside it. So this should be a new experience for me. And again, I live right down the street. Probably just go, actually, if we play our cards right, we'll be able to go to the game and then possibly elbow room. Oh, I'm so excited. Love elbow room. I don't want to get my hopes up too fast. The day is still young. It's only 6:45 in the morning. And when that time of year, we're at this hour, it's still pitch black outside. So that should give you a rough estimation of where we are. Excuse me. So yesterday's episode of Hot Ones. It was so funny. After I learned it was Cate Blanchett who was going to be on Hot Ones, it was later that evening where I saw a commercial for Tar. I'm like, that's why Cate Blanchett's on Hot Ones. She's going to be promoting Tar. And sure enough, that's what it was. And, if you know anything about Cate Blanchett, you know that she's one of the most decorated actors of the modern era. 2 Oscars to her name, one for supporting actress and one for best actress. She's been in a lot of movies. I mentioned the other day Thor Ragnarok. I can't believe I forgot Lord of the Rings, which actually was one of the questions involving in this week's episode, which was because back when Elijah Wood was on Hot Ones, he talked about what interested him back when he was filming it. But so obviously the question was what was interesting to Cate Blanchett, and I'm blanking on what she referred to it as, but basically it's like you have two cameras and you have like one here and like one back here, and one's meant to focus on someone who's taller while the other is someone who's naturally taller, and the other is for somebody who's meant to be like shorter. And when you do that, like let's say, because I'm 6'4", let's say you have someone who's, let's say maybe 5'10", right? Like using this sort of style of framing and camera, you can make it so that we're both the same height, is what it boils down to, which is really interesting. Or you can magnify it so, you have, like a giant person and a little person next to each other, whatever you have. So I thought that was really cool. And she talked about how, another question Shauna asked was, when she was preparing for her role in The Aviator, what was more difficult for you to get used to, taking cold showers or playing tennis? And interestingly enough, tennis was a homecoming for her because she actually grew up playing tennis, which, hey, I didn't know she played tennis. That's cool. The whole cold showers thing, I feel you. It took me a while to get used to taking cold showers as well, and I'll be honest, I still don't take them all that often so much anymore. This morning I felt like, I don't want to take a cold shower. I feel like it felt cold, actually. Like inside there's actually no heat on in my apartment at this moment, but it's warm in here. But for whatever reason, I felt like, I need warmth. I need like a hot shower, like maybe slightly hotter than normal. I don't know why I did that, but I just did. Let's see. There was that. There was actually, here's interesting. And I mentioned that we're almost at Halloween, and a question that Sean asked is, because it was like in an interview where Cate Blanchett once said something along the lines of, if you can make it through Halloween 2, that's like a badge of honor. Like, what's like a horror film that is like quintessential for you to watch on Halloween? And like, what would you say like really scares you in such a way? Now, there are some bad choices, but there's a lot of great choices you could go to when it comes to, proper good horror films for, Halloween. The original Universal movie monsters are obviously a good idea. Stuff like, the original, John Carpenter's The Thing, stuff like that. But with Cate Blanchett, and I'm both surprised and quite happy she brought this up. In fact, the Blockbuster Buster would be proud of her answer, because her response was anything directed by Sam Raimi. And if you don't know who Sam Raimi is, he was the director of the Evil Dead movies. He also directed the Spider-Man trilogy. I did my thoughts on the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy a while back. You could go watch that on my channel. Sam Raimi is a master. Well, him and his crew are masters at like using like legit practical effects to make it look like something like magic and like scary, spooky stuff is going on. And for Cate Blanchett, like that's what gets her. And I personally have never, I know what happened. Again, I never really grew up with horror. I only know what happens in the Evil Dead movies because well, I pay attention to the internet, and plus I am a fan of the Blockbuster Buster, who, if you check out the Blockbuster Buster channel, and I'll put a link in his description down below, he's legit doing, well, he actually just finished up a segment called Cartoon versus Campaign, where he's comparing what happened in Critical Role's campaign of like the Briarwood arc with what happened in Vox Machina, which is really cool. I highly recommend you check that out. And again, well, with the Blockbuster Buster, it's because he's a fan of Bruce Campbell, who isn't, right? But he loves the Evil Dead movies, and again, you can thank Sam Raimi for that. So thank you, Sam Raimi. And I know people don't really care for Spider-Man 3, but thank you for the Spider-Man trilogy as well. There you go. As well as other movies he's done. I mean, he did, I believe he also did Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I think he did. So, yeah, Sam Raimi, he's done a lot of great stuff. Especially in the realm of horror. So, I absolutely have to talk about the final wing in question, because normally when it comes to performing on stage, or even to a very, 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 very small extent doing what I do, normally a rule of thumb is, if you're going to go out there and if you're nervous, just pretend everyone else is in their underwear. And that's apparently supposed to make you less nervous. I never really did anything like that. For me, I just simply, nut up and shut up. That's what I did. And I like to think it served me well. I mean, it's done wonders for me doing this. I mean, I've been doing this for, 1,762 days as of right now. And I haven't really gotten any complaints or said anything bad or got anything bad from it, so that's good. But Cate Blanchett's line of thinking, that's what got me. Because she said, you should pretend that no one's watching. And she described it as a sense of a lack of consequence. And that sort of thinking never really occurred to me. Full disclosure, I think that's actually brilliant. I mean, now that I think about it, that really should be the saying. Not pretend everyone else is in their underwear. Because you need to have, it sort of goes with the logic of, you need to be able to laugh at yourself. Because even truly, truly great acting has some form of, I want to say, absurdity to it, or, humor, because you're playing a completely different character from who you really are. But it just gives you so much freedom when you are doing your thing. And for the most part, there isn't much in the realm of who can say no to whatever it is that you're doing. And I actually find that fascinating. I'm thinking, wait, I could have done this the whole time and no one told me? What gives? Well, yeah. That's the principle of it all. It gives you an opportunity to think over, okay, I'm up here pretending I'm some historical figure, and you know, I look silly, but, you know, if no one's watching me, it's okay. And I think a lot of people, I think that can be mistranslated a lot, because how many videos on the internet do you see of people like dancing in front of a camera, and then like something bad happens, like someone in the background is watching them and, you know, laughing at them and stuff like that? Probably partly because they had no idea that they were there. But I think there has to be a level of intelligence when you do that. Like, let's say I were to actually apply this logic myself. That I actually am on stage in front of a crowd of people. I know that they're there. This whole thing is going on for the, you know, entertainment of others. And I know that having all those eyes stare at you, or me in this instance, can be daunting. If they weren't there, how would I really be able to do? Would I be able to truly give myself, if I pretended that they weren't there, would it really give me the freedom to do what I need to do? I don't know. I think it's actually quite brilliant. Like, let's say I wouldn't know how to do it. You know, the thought just never occurred to me. But now I find it so fascinating. This was, I mean, I guess in some ways, whenever I make videos, I mean, listen, I only have like maybe 65 subscribers on YouTube. I know I'm not that big. I know that as far and fast as the internet is, and trust me, that's saying a lot, no one's really going to watch me. But, you know, maybe they will. And that's why I just continue doing what I'm doing. I'm certainly not afraid. You know, there's no one I'm certainly trying to call out or anything. So, yeah. I might actually have to try applying this logic a little bit more. I'll think it over. Anyway, I hope you all liked this video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humble to make this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy your name. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. And remember, because Want to Talk Channel is going to be here to lend me those very back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.